I usually don't do politics, but I feel like it's kind of important right now in the way society is going, between Trump and Kamala.
Kamala.
Kamala Harris. I'm a very neutral party in this situation. I'm not going to vote for either one of them motherfuckers. So we have Zai, and he is a Democrat.
You just threw that out there, huh?
Yeah, go ahead, because I already know what you was about to say.
I'm definitely not a Democrat. I am, if anything, I am independent.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm kind of like on the same page with you because I'm not voting for neither one of them because I personally feel like it's the same bird, just different wing. Um, from what I've learned in my history, things like that, those political parties are not for us, and I'm speaking about black people. They're not for us. They never have been. They never did anything. They always try to get our numerical numbers and just get us to come out and vote and do all this other stuff and do nothing. Because I remember Rock the Vote. I remember Puffy running around trying to get everybody to to vote. And then, even with Biden, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And as soon as they get in office, they do nothing. The first thing they did was when Biden got in office was help out the Asian people. Not saying that they shouldn't be helped with the shooting. He passed the executive law to you can't kill an Asian person or Asian descendant. But for us as black people, presidents don't care about us. They just need us for our numbers. But that's my stand on it. I don't really care till someone comes out and shows proof, and us too as well as us as a people. We need to start holding them accountable, and I definitely agree with that.
That's what I was.
I think it's important for us to vote locally, though. I do agree with that. Like locally, we need to vote because that holds better as far as the community is concerned and what these mayors are doing that directly impacts us here. But as far as the presidency, I really don't agree with it. I don't care because they have to go through delegates. It's a whole big thing for us to even attempt to act like they're going to do something for us. So
let me ask y'all something. So both of y'all agree on this. All right. I understand where he's coming from. But I would just like to interject this. Okay, so the part about, let's start with the local stuff, right? So you said the local, the mayor, you see a direct impact of that. With the governor and with the president, the support, the financial support that the local communities get is directly affected by who's in those other offices. So when you say you don't care about the other ones, in order for the local one to function effectively, they need help from the federal government. They need help from the state. And who is in those offices will directly impact further down the line as well. And so if you have now also what you described are the results of politics as usual. That's not a Democrat thing. That's not a Republican thing. That's just some people coming around during election time saying we need your vote and we're going to do this for you. And then they get in office and don't do it. That's not a Democrat thing. That's all of them do that. And that's on us to hold them accountable. So it's like,
how do you hold them accountable?
Now that's another question. But I mean that's another statement. But I'm just saying. But if we no, absolutely,
pass the laws and stuff.
No, but
after they get elected into the office, then
but see, that's what people think, right? But collectively, we do have power, and if we don't utilize the power, whose fault? That's our fault, right? It's twofold. They get elected, and then we just do nothing. We just sit back and say, "Okay, they're gonna do what they say they're gonna do," and then we don't pay attention no more. We don't put pressure on them. We gotta put pressure on them.
Not to interject.
Well, no, go ahead.
To interject. Also, I think the problem is that we're ignorant when it comes to this type of stuff. We don't have the proper understanding of what each of these political ties do for us as a community in the community. Like, to be honest, even with me being a 40
You still there?
man, I'm just represents this, and this party represents this, or this party represents, you know what I'm saying, what it could be. Like, we're not taught that. Well, I
That's
know
on
I
purpose.
wasn't taught that in my school.
That's what I'm saying. That's on purpose. That's on purpose.
Correct. So I think before we need to start, I think personally, before we start talking about who we need to vote for, we need to educate ourselves and say, okay, well, this is what this does, this is what this does, and they should have a class in the community for that. I think they should say, hey, if you really want to get in top, then this is what we need to do. We're gonna have a party meeting such and such day, so that way we can actually learn what we're doing, how it affects us, where we can go from there, and learn from there before we start just telling us go rock the vote. Rock the vote for what? I don't even know what the hell I'm rocking.
But that's Diddy. So. Ain't nobody think about no Diddy parties. That's old. That's old. Right. But you're right. You know what I mean? Right. I'm saying we got a lot of empty rhetoric in order just to get our votes. Right. That's 100% fact. But let's look at I don't know, like the kids play or not people that play Madden, right? There wasn't no school. You learned how to play because you wanted to know how to play. And whatever video game the ladies that do had that didn't go to school, they wanted to know and they found out the information. We have to seek out the information because it's true. This information is not given. We have to get it. And if it's something that you want and it's something that's valuable, and it is valuable, because if it wasn't valuable, they would not be trying to take people votes. They would not be trying to stop people from voting. They would not try to take them off the voter logs and all that. If it wasn't valuable, they wouldn't even worry about you doing it. It's very valuable, but the value has been minimized, and now we are hopeless in a lot of instances because we don't understand the process, because we're not made to understand the process. But we need to understand the process. Now, the people that's running is trash.
Both
but these are the people that's running.
But it's like right now, it's like I keep on telling people I'm looking like as the world turns on the next episode of America. What are we really doing with this motherfucker right now?
But you know why? That's because of that's because of the inclusion of Trump. The reason why it's turned to a reality show is because we have a reality show person that's running. That's why it's reality.
Even with your Kamala. Kamala. If you can't say it behind my back, say it to my face. What the fuck? She got Megan Thee Stallion fucking in the White House. Like, what
Megan Thee Stallion was not in the White House.
Both people campaigning, but on stage twerking. Like, this is what we have come to as America.
No, but let's understand this.
This is just crazy.
Trump has rallies. He has those. He has those redneck racist singing country songs. He did play 50 Cent song recently, but my point is that they have. It's like a block party, right? They have a block party to get people to come out that's not necessarily interested in politics. So they got to do little tricks depending on where they are. If they came here, they would get what was one of the local rappers here to get people. That's what they would do if they was in Baltimore.
I don't want neither one of them.
But wherever you go, whoever it is, if Ty, if you was running, and I'm like, look, Ty, we got to go to Texas.
My dog first.
Listen what I'm saying, Ty. If I say, Ty, you running for national office, we going to Texas. We got to get younger people there. We got to find ways. And so we would go to the community, figure out who we want to get some people out. And that's what we would do. If we was in Texas, we would get whoever is hot there that we can get that is on the same page with us. And if we went to Detroit, it would be the same thing. They went to Atlanta. She wanted to be involved. So they made it work. It's not a bad thing.
It's clownery.
That's one small part of entertaining the live crowd. Mm-mm. That's not the politics.
So they still don't even know what they're voting for. You just brought an entertainer on the stage. And
they always do that. They've done that since the beginning.
This is crazy.
It's always been crazy,
and it's getting worse.
It's always been crazy.
Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah, my service.
I can't do either one. I can't do him. I can't do her. Do we have something else to pick from?
Not this time.
Like, this is just beyond. It don't even make sense. when we sit back and look at it, it's not making sense.
All right, when we was in
And there should
school,
be an age limit on who can run for president.
right. When we was in
Because
school,
Trump is what, 70?
70. Trump is 78. When we was in school, right?
He got 4 more years in
Listen,
office.
we was
and
in,
gonna be
he's
what,
not in office. When we
30
was in
years in
school,
office.
when you so equivalent to what you're saying, like you don't like these people. We in the 12th grade. We in our senior year, and it's March.
Mhm.
We graduated in May. And you saying, you know what? I don't like this school. I want to go to another school. It's too late to change schools now. No, I want to transfer somewhere else. No, you're literally in the 4th quarter of your 12th grade year, and you told me you want to transfer schools. You ain't gonna graduate then. You first of all, you can't do it. You can't do it. We can't change people now. The election's in November. The Republicans have already said who their person is, which is Trump, which is whack, and then Kamala
whack.
Okay.
What is Kamala going to do for the United States of America?
What do you mean?
What is her standpoints and views? Because
Right,
I've been trying to research her for 2 days. And I have not pulled up nothing positive on her views and ideas to help the country.
This goes back to what the brother was talking about as far as educating and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
One person doesn't do anything. Okay, that's Trump, that's Biden, that's Obama, that's whoever, that's Clinton. There is you need Congress to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
So one person can go in and say, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna paint the walls. I'm gonna do it," and they can't do none of that because they don't control the paint.
But what
they don't control the paint brushes.
Said collectively,
you know what I mean?
To the American people to make us vote for her? What has she came on her mouth and said?
You didn't listen. You didn't listen to the rally. Which she was talking for an hour and a half. Then
she said a bunch of nothing.
Well, you call it a bunch of nothing, but she has thoughts, and she knows a lot more policy than Donald Trump, who knows no policy. Okay, and so that we can go on and on about. We can talk about policy, but we don't want to bore people talking about policy. But I don't even think it's a policy thing. I don't think it's a policy thing. I think that we have to understand that the presidency is a collective job. They got one person in the front, but there's a whole lot of people behind the curtain that has to be involved in what goes on. We just picking the person in the forefront right now. Now the people behind the scenes, we gotta pick the right ones of them too. Right. You know what I mean? So it's hard to pick one, not the other. Yeah.
I understand that part.
Yeah.
But I don't want neither one of them.
Which are you gonna vote?
I'm not voting this year.
Okay.
If I wanted to piss America off right now, I would say I'm a liberal. America hate that word, liberal.
I think I'm a liberal.
They hate that word. Yeah, no. I'm not voting this year. I'm staying my ass right.
I'm not as well versed in this topic as I would see myself.
But we got to get versed on this one though, because it and of course everybody don't know everything they need to know about this.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's true, but it still is important. And whether we vote or not, somebody gonna vote, and somebody else's vote is going to count. So It's going to happen whether we participate or not. And so,
do you actually think that people votes matter?
Yes. I said if it didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying to take it away from you. They wouldn't try to stop you. When brothers and sisters get incarcerated.
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now I was just making sure.
Yeah, they try to take people's vote away, right? Because these ladies and gentlemen will be angry at the system, and they will look at their vote as being dangerous, because they just going to do something that's how they're looking at it, right? And so they try to take that away. Why would they take it away? It's valuable. Right. It's important. It can move things. We got all these old people, you know why it's elderly people? And this is why things don't change. And you said something that was very important. There needs to be age limits. And it's true. It needs to be age limits, and it needs to be term limits, right? Because if you had the same person in office for 40 years, nothing's going to change. They're going to keep it the same way. Because why am I going to change it? It's been working. I'm getting paid a lot of money. They're making deals. But if these people keep changing every 2 years, like you get 2 terms, right? If you get 2 terms and then change another person, we'll see change, because we'll see different people. Nancy Pelosi, she from Baltimore, and that's all good. but she's been in office 40 years, even though she don't live here no more. I'm saying she's from here. So Joe Biden been in office 45 years, almost 40, really 47, right? There's no change. So you got all these old people that came in when they was young, and now they old. They ain't changing nothing. And old people can set in their ways. They greasing palms. They making money. They're not changing nothing.
Right.
So in order for things to change, they got 2 limits, and you can't be too fucking old.
Right.
Then we will see change.
I agree with that. So now with that being said, being that we're using, this is the first platform and the first time is there a way where we can possibly put that together, information to where it's like, hey, you know what, let's make something happen, opposed to talking about it today and then next year we'll be talking about the same thing, or in 4 years we'll be like, yeah, you know, we need education. What can we do to help better ourselves and I guess the community, the listeners, or whatever it is? How can we make this platform that much better?
It's really good. It's really good that he said that. We've had these kind of conversations for years. So we've been doing shows since 2007, right? This is Ty's first show of her own, and we've had politicians on here. We've had police folks. We've had all different type of people. But he is the first person that has said what he said. And to me, it makes so much sense. Like, that makes sense. We need to do that. That makes a lot of sense. And what I mean is actually bring people in to explain the process and what happens. We just talk mostly about, we don't like this one, we don't like that one. You know what I mean? The mayor, the governor, the president, right? But we don't really specify and educate what exactly happens. So that we definitely gonna put that together.
So how can you fix it? How can you educate others, and what collectively has to be done to make it a 2-year term and not 4?
Well, in order to change, but see, now it's difficult. Now you're talking about changing the system. To change the system, this is why it's tricky, right? To change the system, we gotta have the very people that doing the things that we don't want, meaning being in office too long and being too old, to agree to it. And they not going to agree to it
easily. We clearly know right now. I apologize. No shade to him. Biden clearly has dementia.
Yes. And he ain't. But that's saying he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one in there that's like that.
The next one, which is going to be.
No, I'm talking about people in Congress. It's people in Congress just like that.
He will be in there. He will be 80, 81, 82 when he's out. That's way too old for somebody to be running the country.
But check this out. What he did was unprecedented. And that was because they forced him to do it because they attacked the money. They stopped giving money. He was running out of money. Wasn't going to be able to fund the campaign the rest of the term. But that he was running for president. He wasn't going to have enough money, and people had lost support, and it forced him to do it. That's why he did it. Then when she got on, people was excited, and she was able to raise money. So the way to control them is the whole thing always is money. So, but how can us as the average citizen do that? Right. That would be through the donors, targeting the donors, and then that it would have to be the ripple effect. But it's always around money. It's always around money. But I think, like the brother said, we need to educate people, understand what the process is, what they actually do and can do and can't do. Sometimes they make promises that they can't keep. They say they're going to do things that they can't do.
I'm still waiting for my student loans to be forgiven.
You try to say do things you can't do. You know what I mean? And so it's like if a guy come up to you and sell you a whole bunch of dreams, right? You mess with me, I'm going to do this. You're like, wait, you can't do that. Like, you only had the power to do that, right? But that's because you know he can't do it. But if he's telling you some stuff and you don't know if he can do it or not, and you can say, okay, I'm going to mess with you. And he can't do nothing that he said. And you just stay with him year after year. You got kids with him, 20, 30 years.
But here's what happens. So that would be the action, right? Our action would be, let's say we vote for this person. Now I'm talking locally now. So we're not even on it. That's
the easiest way is locally first.
Right. So we find this political figure and we like them. That's the action. The reaction is them abiding to what we want to see in the community as far as better schools and districts and things like that, roads or whatever, locally stuff, right? Our tax-paying money wants to go to certain things, right? But then let's just say once they get in, they forget about it. Now we have to look for a counter reaction. So what would be our counter reaction, which is not, I don't want to say violent, but something to say these people don't play. Let me not play with it.
Well, look, I think that is an excellent way to look at it. Now, it has to be. We gotta focus even deeper than that, because let's just say you brought up schools, right? So we would have to target what we're trying to change. So if that is the Baltimore City public school system, then we would have to zoom in on that. The mayor alone does not control that, right? And so it's a bunch of things. So we have to figure out what we try and change first, right? I mean, our streets look terrible, right? And so the mayor has a hand in that, and there are others, right? And so they claim, and a lot of people don't know this, but they claim if there's a pothole, and this is in the city, there's a pothole in the city, you call and report it, they're supposed to fix it within 48 hours, right? Oh, wow. Most people don't even know that. Most people don't even know that you can call if you see those trucks. When they say you're not supposed to have a tractor trailer in this area, they say tractor trailer. The main reason is that they mess up the roads, and so the city roads is not paved the same way that those highways are. GPS systems. That's why they're not supposed to be there, right? But regardless, when our roads is messed up, we just say, "Oh, they're supposed to fix it," and we don't take no extra step. We just say, "Oh, the road is messed up," and we keep on walking or avoid the pothole or hit it or whatever it is. But we don't take any action, and so they not pressured. They don't feel no pressure to do nothing. It's like ain't nobody say nothing, so whatever, and that's how it is. And they take that money and put it on something else. But it's the same way with the mayor is attacking them with money, which is what controls all of them, money. We have to go after sponsors. We have to go after donors. We have to, because all these people are just big business owners in the city, and the ones nationwide is just bigger business owners across the country.
So we'll take our money away, but what would we and who would we target? Because schools are free, so we can't really not take no money from there, nor could we not.
Well, schools are not free. Schools are not free. We still pay for schools because school is with tax money, but that goes back to the federal part I was mentioning as far as our nothing is free. And what's so frustrating about politicians is they act like they spending their money. They're spending our money, sales tax money, income tax money, all of that money that they take out of our checks, or we got to pay extra when we buy stuff, is money that they use for everything. But they act like it's their money, but it's the people's money.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not just not going to a certain store. I'm just saying we gotta put pressure, like you said, we gotta put pressure on the people, on the politicians.
I think it's important also that we get a lot of young, like we talked on it earlier about getting the old people out, but we need to get a lot of young people in to start, because the young people are the future, to be honest. Like right now we're mid-age, we're not old, but we're getting up there. But we need to at least pass the baton to the youth, so that way they can be well equipped for what's going to happen and keep going. Because like the brother was talking about, our older people, they're stubborn. They're not going nowhere. They're stuck in their ways, whether it's on the white side. So
nothing can ever change, because they already programmed in their head about the way they think things should be and how things should go and how society should move. That's what I'm saying. It has to be. That means if you 78, you were born in 1940 something. You already have in your ways the old school way, and what your mama taught you from back then is still embedded in your brain.
We got to get it. We got to push them out. You're absolutely right. You're not going to change. But that's why when you look at it like Megan or Quavo being there or any of the other folks, it's twofold, right? So it's just like they're young, and when we was, I don't know, 18, you wasn't thinking about voting or nothing. We thought that was something for our parents. You didn't even think about it. Like,
Mhm.
it's like you couldn't even process that in your
The
mind.
first time I voted was for Obama. Yes, I did.
Right, but
that was
that's what I'm saying. But if you,
it made me want to vote.
if whoever was the hot rapper when you was that, somebody was 50 Cent or Ja
It was
Rule,
Jeezy.
somebody,
My president
Jeezy.
is black.
Jeezy,
My
right.
Lambo
So
is blue. Right.
If they said that Jeezy is going to be down at City Hall tomorrow, and he's going to be down there, and it's free, come down there.
Right.
You would have went down there.
Right.
AKA Megan coming down there. But now you 18, you 19, and you normally wouldn't have been there.
Sexy Red endorsing Trump is crazy.
But I'm just saying, but if you get, so the mindset is to get people that's young, because we want the younger ones to get involved, because if the younger ones get involved, it will change the system. Most people don't want the younger ones involved because they know it will change the system.
But you know what? Like, even when we sit here and we talk about how the rappers and stuff will show up, I don't honestly think they even really truthfully endorse these people. Like, I don't believe if Sexy Red knew better, she would not be singing outside to endorse Trump.
This is what I'm saying.
She wouldn't be doing
Sexy Red is not even registered to vote. Okay, most of these people, Lil Pump, different ones is endorsing. Waka Flocka, they don't vote. They just on social media talking. If they think it sounds cool.
But I'm saying, but that's why even they have to care enough about their own people in the generation that they're trying to influence. Because it's never gonna be it's not gonna be no change coming from the younger ones neither. If I sit here and I'm a big public figure and I know I don't even believe in it, and I'm trying to make you vote for something that I know I stand against, that's crazy. That's why I said this is all a big shit show.
I don't know where their morale will come from if they already teaching our children to sell drugs and disrespect black women and all types of hoes and bitches. So their morale is not going to change when it comes to political things, especially when they're ignorant to it. So I understand your plight, but that ain't going to change. They need to sit down with a political figure to actually guide them, someone who's knowledgeable and who's on our side, to be like, all right, no, don't do this, do it this way, because you're bugging, you're cooning right now, you're looking like a fool, and you're just trying to, you're trying to make yourself look good in front of the eyes of the white man, so to say, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I understand. I came up with some ideas to get these people, when I was running the club, to get them to come down there, to get the teams to come down there and tell them, like, yo, listen, this rap stuff is not real. It's just entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't take it to heart. Don't be out there, because our kids is listening to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? If they started rapping about, if the machine started rapping about politics and started rapping about the real stuff about what's going on, you don't think these kids would pick up and start rehearsing that and and thinking about it and
taking it to the next level? You're absolutely right. They would. Yeah, they absolutely would.
So my next question.
Gotta get them.
First topic is done. Next question. Do you feel like you can be racist and black in America? Can you feel like a black person can be racist in America?
Can a black person be racist?
Can a black person be racist?
Let him think about that. Let's take a 60-second break and then come back.
All righty.
Okay.
All right.